Howdy, boys and girls, and welcome back. It is a good day, and it has been a while since I've recorded last. The delay in that has been just getting all the backed up videos processed and tried to put on the internet. I think I'm still missing one on YouTube, but that should be coming up either today or in the next couple days. It is Tuesday, the 29th of October, and so we have had the 1.7 snapshot. I was going to record last Friday when it came out, but we had some problems with, one, griefers got on. I don't know how they got the IP address, but we whitelisted the server since then, so they haven't been able to get on, but I had to do all that and get the world backed up to what it was so that we didn't lose a lot of work that I'd put into it. Besides that, though, I've been out exploring, and I have, as you can see, got the dark oak trees, which are maybe got some. There it goes. Which are these saplings. And you use 4 of them to grow those trees, just like a large jungle tree. As well as we went and found a savanna, which took me a long time to find, and got some savanna trees. And as you can see, this is where we are at. That little white dot is the nether hub that we've worked on. I'm pretty sure it was completed last episode. Maybe not. I'll kind of walk through and show everything that has been done so far. And then this one, I was just kind of messing around with maps and seeing what they would, because the small maps are snapped to a grid. Take this down. I learned something last night when I was playing that we are getting heavy lag for some reason. Anyways, I learned that the small maps are snapped to a grid, because this map on this side, is actually split somewhere right in here, and I was standing in the middle of the nether portal when I made the map, and so it's snapped to a grid. You can see, yeah, there's the border. Oh. For some reason, I got kicked. I don't know why it's lagging this hard. It wasn't earlier this morning. I wonder if it's because I've been messing with the recording settings, because if you guys have noticed in my previous videos, they're not the highest quality for whatever reason, and they don't fill the screen in your YouTube browser, and I'm not sure what that is. I'm still playing around, trying to get better quality for you guys. I apologize about that. Well, shoot. Maps aren't even rendering in now. But anyways, those small maps, they snap to a grid, and you can't change that. But once you get into these larger maps, it seems that they aren't snapped to a grid that aligns right with each other. Here it goes. Now it's catching up. So right here at the bottom, you can kind of see in this bottom map, there's a piece explored right there. That is spawn. And so this spot, the center of this map, is about right here on the larger map. So it's just off the border. So I was playing with that, and I found, because I was on my way to try to find some desert and stuff, because there are trees and swamps and all sorts of stuff, but no desert, no dry biomes. And I ended up having, on this map, it would probably be the equivalent of somewhere over in here off the map, that I finally found mesa biome, desert biome, and whatnot. So we have found everything but an ice spike plain biome, or ice plain spikes, whatever that one's called, and then a mega taiga, the ones with the podzol and those other new blocks. Those are the only two biomes that we haven't found. We have quite a few roofed forests. This is the one that we found earlier, so it is still the oak wood instead of the dark oak wood. But this is a big roof forest, as well as I think these down here are roof forests. So there's quite a few of those. I found a couple villages. I found one of the smallest villages ever in my life. It had one building. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was. There was a village over here with 2 buildings, and I thought that was the smallest, and then I think I found another one up in here, I think, with 1. And then there's a medium-sized village in this area. But that's all the exploring I did. I also finally got a donkey and got a mule by breeding them together. Yeah, here's my little acacia grove that I'm growing. I personally really like the acacia wood. I like it better than this dark oak. I know some people like the darker, richer wood better, but just the silvery wood kind of does it for me. As you can see, this is where we had the mob spawner, and we are going to start building kind of the spawn town hall building. And we'll probably, depending on how this episode goes, we'll start working on that. I've kind of played around in creative and kind of have an idea of what we want. I'll probably have to run over and borrow a fortune pick from my wife, because mine disappeared. You can see all the craters from creepers that I had. All these craters were one night. It was, for whatever reason, was lagging pretty heavily. I filled in this one partially. This hole as well. As you can see, I moved the enchanting table. I'll show you where in a second. But it was just lagging, and I died like 20 times that night. I was getting so frustrated. But what can you do? So I lost my pick in that mess, as well as a couple of my other good things. I lost my diamond work pick. So as you can see on my bar right now, there is only an iron one. Oops. And most of the other diamond tools I have replaced since then. So I have the rock cracker, the speed digger, anglershell. Haven't named this one. I'm trying to get an axe with unbreaking on it before I name it. And I got the torch flinger. That's right. I also lost my bow that night. I was ticked about because it was a good bow as well. But I got a silk touch, and these are just kind of stuff that I've been collecting that I haven't got rid of. So yeah, here was where that mob grinder was that I had built, and where spawn house had been. And so what I had done was dug out the rest of the basement. As you can see, this is what I've done down here. I have got kind of a storage system from stuff that comes off the mob grinder. There are a couple dark spaces down here, but I don't think they'll really have much mob spawning. I also rigged up, this is actually version 3 of the mob grinder. I've had creepers blow it up twice before, which is a bummer, but it kind of worked out for the better. Back in here, when I was setting this up, I actually ran into a couple of little pond cave systems. Oh, there's some iron right there. Let me grab that. I'm running low on iron. I'm not really exactly sure where all of it went, but I'm running low on it. But while I was trying to get the redstone set up for that piston, I ran into these caves. So the button, if you noticed before, the button is right here over the crafting table underneath. I kind of tried to tuck it out of the way. And it fires this piston, which moves the cobblestone over and suffocates the mobs. Let me turn down those guys. They're loud when you're right next to the grinder. But anyways, if you guys can see back here, what I have is the button is on the back side of this block right here, and it sets off a T flip-flop. So when you press the button, it turns on these 3 redstone lines, which turns off this torch, which in turn, which will then turn on, or allow this torch to turn back on, which will continue to power this even after the button is depressed. So this torch will stay on and power this, which goes up and powers the piston, and also goes through these repeaters, which once these repeaters are, and it took a little bit to kind of play around and get the timing exactly right so that it suffocates the mobs down to one health. But once these repeaters all go off, it will repower this line, which turns off this torch, which will then turn this one back on, and it will hold this torch off until the button is pressed again. It's a little bit more complicated, or less complicated than it seems. It just takes quite a bit of redstone for the repeaters to get the timing of it. So you can see we have pretty good rates since we've been standing here. There's 27 mobs. They get stuck on that corner, but once another mob comes up, it'll bounce that one out, and so they don't stay there and clog up the system. But you press the button, you can see the piston is extended, and after it's about 9.5 to 10 seconds, it releases, and then you can hit them on the toes, and some of the ones with armor seem to last a couple more hits, but most of the unarmored guys are 1 hits, and so it works pretty well. And if you want to do this system so that you don't have to press a button and it... Ow! Where did you come from? Oh, it must be nighttime. Oh, that guy's a tough one. Typically, they'll die after 2 arrow hits. But anyways, that's why I'm a little bit anxious to get the top side of this built so that I don't have guys coming down here like that. But anyways, if you guys wanted to use this type of a system and just make it so that... Let me just kill off these guys. Use this type of a system so that you can just suffocate them all and just grind the drops directly from them. Don't worry about XP. You just make those repeaters last a little bit longer and maybe set up another repeater line for the backside so it waits. It'll suffocate them, and then we'll retract, wait for a while, and then go again. And that way you can just have an automatic grinder. Otherwise, use a bucket of lava. And I'll probably do that at some point in the future when we get away from spawn. You can see I've done quite a bit of grinding here. And have got quite a few drops from different things. I'm really excited about that witch update that they now spawn on different things, although it is kind of crazy when you aren't expecting a witch and then there's one standing there. It always gives me a bit of a spook because witches, if you don't get the drop on them, can really do some damage. Sorry, I know this is boring, but I just want to get it out of my inventory. And I think that should be good. I set up a furnace system for lava buckets in the nether, since the nether portal is right next to a big lava lake. We can just, once all those are gone, hopefully at some point I'll have enough lava or buckets to fill up this chest, which will fill up these 2 back rows of hoppers with lava buckets, and then it'll take a while before you have to manually redo it. As it is, I only have enough buckets for those 2 basically. Don't know where that came from. Probably when I was building the top of this floor. But it takes quite a bit of iron, or it will take a lot of iron to make all those buckets. But to explain kind of what happens here, let me kind of get up here where I can see better. Oops. So what happens is you put the lava buckets when you fill them in this chest, and this hopper will take them out of the chest and will send them along this top line. Each one of these hoppers are tied into each other. And then these hoppers underneath will pull out of these. So that's why this one's full, the next one's full, and the next one only has 1. Is it pulls out at the same rate that this one pulls out of the chest. And so this one gets full, and then that one can start sending down the line. So this one will get it. And that way you can just worry about this eventually. As of right now, you still have to take them out of this and manually refill all of them. These top chests and top hoppers are just for filling the input in, so you can put 100 items at a time or more, however much you have. And then these bottom hoppers and chests are to pull the empty buckets and the processed products out. These are just things that I use to get this set up. But I've processed a lot of netherrack and nether brick, as well as cobblestone and smooth stone already. The reason that I had tripwire hooks in here, if you notice, every other chest is a trapped chest, or a I think that's what they're called. Anyways, and that is so they don't join with a normal chest, and you can have a line like this. That's the same way that these worked over here, is every other row is trapped chests. Same with the top. That's just a little trick that you can use to kind of compact your storage area. I think that's about it. If you guys wonder why there's like little holes and stuff in the floor, it just kind of adds a little bit more character to it. You can't really tell now, but before you could really tell, especially like over here, if you were standing above and over kind of by the nether portal and you looked in, you could it really looked like there was a crack running along this wall. So it just adds some character and adds the different textures and stuff. I still need to eventually figure out what I'm going to do with all this excess dirt, cobblestone, and other building stuff. I went through and put some lights. I used pumpkins and torches for some extra lighting, so I didn't have lamps every 5 blocks. And what I did then was just put 2 jungle leaves above the pumpkin, and that way it still lights up around the outside of the path. I still have to do the inside. I went through and bone mealed a lot of this grass. I'll probably take a lot of it out just because it looks a little bit busy. I thought I got all the flowers too, and I'll probably add some other features, like we have this, I added this little pond, the river, the sugarcane. So I'll probably add in some custom trees and stuff eventually. But then this is the nether portal. If I hadn't shown it before, it took a lot of quartz, but I think it looks pretty good. It's noisy though. I don't think I had the path fully completed last time I recorded. Put in this little waterfall, and then over there was already a lake or a little pond, and so I just used that to kind of for the waterways. But this goes up on the cliff. I didn't want to level this whole cliff, and so I just kind of used the landscape to kind of benefit what I was trying to do. Oh, come on. There we go. So if you can see, this is kind of just a little lookout path. You can kind of see what happens. The water flows down and into that, as well as flows down here and back into it. I think it looks really nice this way. You have a pretty good view up here. Eventually we'll probably try to get a little village built for NPC villagers, so people can do a little bit of trading around here. And then this is the little steps down I used on the back side of that cliff face to tie back into this. But yeah, here's that little pond. And underneath the bridge, I think it looks nice that way. And like I said, I'll be adding a couple more features and stuff as time goes on. For some reason I'm missing a slab there. I'll have to replace that. Underneath the riverbed, I use gravel, cobblestone stairs, cobblestone, and I don't think I used any sand. But it just gives a little bit of a better texture under the water than just dirt or sand does by itself. Because if you look at any stream bed, it's pretty rocky under there. And so the gravel and the cobblestone, I think, really adds to that. Anyways, let's get started on kind of working on the front of this building. And then when I get the front done and show you kind of what it'll look like, I'll do the rest of the work off camera, so you guys aren't just watching me build the whole time. I got a cat because I was tired. Like I said, we had those creeper explosions all over the place, and so I put him here in hopes that it would kind of keep creepers away from my building. Need this. Need snow. Oh yeah, I didn't explain what I learned yesterday. Last night I was trying to get the snow ready for today's recording, and I built that little snow pin. And then I found out, I don't remember when that changed, or if it had ever changed, and I just never really built that much in the plains biome. But snowmen will not, if they're standing on a block, will not leave a snow trail all the time. They have to be constantly moving, and they'll just drop a snow block every once in a while. However, in forest, extreme hills, taiga, and kind of the colder biomes, if they sit on a block like this, they will constantly produce a snow layer, which you can harvest. And so that's what I did. It's just a little cheap snowman harvesting. You stand here with the shovel and hit this corner, and it'll give you a lot of snow. You have to be careful so you don't break your stuff, though. Because when I found out that, or when I was trying to figure out why it wasn't producing snow, I went onto the wiki, and someone had timed it, and the unenchanted diamond shovel will wear out in 2.5 minutes. That's how fast you can harvest the snow blocks. Maybe I'll make a stone shovel and kind of show you guys. Don't got any stone. Let's grab one of these. Drop off that. Need that. Need planks. Gotta remember. Anyways. Oh, I hate that stutter, and I was hoping 1.7 would fix that, but it's still there sometimes. Like I said, we'll work on the front side. Hopefully I have enough quartz to do the front side, otherwise I'll be having to just kind of show you a piece of it and then go back to the nether and find quartz. I think quartz should be a lot more plentiful than it is at how costly the blocks to build with them are, but that's just me. So as you can see, we've been here for less than 30 seconds and already broke a stone shovel and got this much snow from it. Which then you just do like so. So it goes by pretty fast when you do that. Alright. I also found out another trick today. Those 2 high flowers, I had been trying to get more of them because you have to go to the biome that they grow in and get them naturally. And I thought maybe if you bone meal that area, they'll regrow, but I hadn't had any luck. And so what you do is you take one of the 2 high flowers, which are peonies, rose bushes, lilacs, and sunflowers. And then... oh... let's see what I'm supposed to put in here. There is... just need some bone meal. I know there's a piece down in here. So what you do is you do that, and then you just bone meal it, and it drops another one just like it. And you can do that as many times as you can, I believe. I don't think there's any real limit on it. Let's see. I believe I want to go like that. I really wish they would... oh, I think I could go in like that. Would have made a flower that you can get like cyan dye from, or a blue dye besides lapis. 'Cause lapis will run out after a while. And I know a lot of people like to have blue colored things around. Alright, so this will be kind of the front porch area. I need quartz. I knew I was forgetting something. And we're going for kind of an older home type of a look. Let's see. Grab those. And those. Well, we're running a little bit long, so I'm probably going to build the porch off camera, and then or build the rest of the house off camera, and come back and show you when I'm done with it. And hopefully it looks okay. So I will be right back. Alright, welcome back. My wife came on and helped me, and it took a little bit, and we still have some of the finishing touches to do. The windows, the beds, and stuff. Because I want this to be a place that if someone's around spawn and they don't have a house or anything nearby, they can come up to the second floor here, open up one of these rooms, and there's 6 rooms in total, and there'll be a bed in there for them. We used up all my remaining quartz to do this project, so I'll have to go get some more here from the nether. But I kind of wanted a mix of the clean cut look the quartz gives it, and then a little bit of the homey look that wood gives it, and so that's why we use like the wood for the roof. The only problem that I have with this is it is very blocky. So I don't know if I will end up rounding off some corners or doing a little addition onto it or something to just kind of break up the cube look to it. I know it is Minecraft, and so you're kind of bound to at least some semblance of cubes, but there's some tricks that you can do to lessen that. I left the ladder going down in this back room in the corner here. And everywhere where there's a hole in the wall, that will get replaced by planks and then glass for windows. That's what those are. And then I still haven't exactly figured out what I'm going to want to do with these stairs. But I'll dress them up and make them look a little nice, and then I'll fix the lighting in here, maybe add some carpet down. But yeah, this I think it looks pretty nice. So we'll put the finishing touches on off camera, and then we'll move on to the next project. Like I said, I'll also dress up the nether portal area, put in a couple of custom trees, break up the landscape a little bit. Try not to block too much of the view, but just enough to add a little bit here and there. But I think that's probably about all she wrote. So I hope that this episode was enjoyable and that you like it, and I will see you again next time. We'll talk to you later. Bye.